My story is I'm a Melbourne girl, had a passion for bands since I was 8 years old, and it started by watching the Beatles cartoons as I was getting dressed with my brother at the age of 8, listening to the music thinking, what the hell is this? It's rock and roll. And consequently, my brother became a professional musician, and I decided to complete a Bachelor of Arts in Photography and go to London and follow my passion and create my dreams and shoot everyone on my bedroom wall, my posters. Um, so, how it all started was basically I had a great teacher who nurtured me and could really see I had a passion for photography, who encouraged me to go to the RMIT. I didn't actually realise what a great college it was till I was there for 3 years, because they really did give me a great technical grounding on how to light, how to communicate through art, how to see things that normal people probably couldn't see as you were going through the world. And consequently, I don't know, I just instinctively followed my passion, and it was 1980. Was it 1985 I started? I finished RMIT 89, and in 89 there was a big recession. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember. There was a really bad recession in 1989, and the normal thing was to get a photography assisting job, and I assisted these crazy Polish photographers, which you might have heard of, Tomek and Eric Fitkow. I survived that, and for 2 weeks, and then I assisted a photographer called Rod Stewart, who wasn't the Rod Stewart, and then I just decided it was time to do what I wanted to do, and my brother had already left to go to London and wanted to become a rock star, and I thought, let me get the degree out the way and then travel and just see what I can create. I had no idea. I mean, I came from a typical suburban home with very strict Italian parents, so I had no idea what I was in for when I went to London. So how I started was basically assisting a fashion stroke knitwear old school photographer, and the perk was, again, you learnt all the fantastic technical things that you should know as a professional photographer in and out of the studio, and he would take us to Spain, Mallorca, Menorca, just to get the right light to photograph knitwear patterns and create Wendy Wools and Peyton's knitwear catalogues, and they had to be technically perfect but still create a special sense of mood for selling knitwear patterns. So again, I was, more technical training. So that's 3 years at RMIT, 3 years of 2 years of assisting in Melbourne, then another 3 years in London. And by that stage, I thought, okay, I should be ready. And so basically, I started to use their studio as my test spot to do people, models, anything that was creative, and just play. And then a friend of my brother's who was in a band said, you should really take your photos to some magazine, and at the time I just didn't have the confidence to do it, like, oh, I'm not good enough, type of thing. And in the end, I waited a year, and this is where the breaks come in with the career. There happened to be someone who just happened to be working at a magazine, and he happened to be starting his own magazine. So at that point I had a studio at my facility assisting the knitwear photographer, and I ended up shooting all their front covers. So all of a sudden the rock photographer got created, but I had access to things that a lot of the young photographers didn't have access to, which is a fully fledged studio. So I started to produce covers that were, fairly high quality, and that led me to have a lot of exposure, which led to the record companies, and the record companies then consequently go, who's she? She must be a band photographer. So that got me more work, and I basically spent probably about 7 years travelling, being on planes and being on tour with bands and shooting promotional work before their albums came out, and doing lots of interesting magazine work.